Kaboom. Samhith Kadiala. Hello guys, today we're going to be starting a new unit on Python, and so on this new unit we're going to be talking a bunch of things from being a beginner to making your own games or even apps. So let's start. So first of all, we need the material we need. And we have to make some downloads. So one of the things we need is Python. So you see, we can do many different things. But the best one I prefer you to do is to do the Jupyter Notebook. No. Oopsie, silly me. And so the first option is this Python thing, .org. And you see, you can just type in any type of code, and you can do it .py, and then it'll turn into a Python file. And you need this file, or else it won't read the .py, because it has to browse, okay? So you can do this, and you can write in some notepads, things like that or stuff. But I would prefer to you because then you would need something to run your code in a different app. You have to write code from one way and run it in different. It's too much time. So that's why I prefer you the Jupyter Notebook. And to get the Jupyter Notebook, all you have to do is just go to this site called Anaconda. So all you need is just this Anaconda download. So to go there, you can just do Anaconda. So you can go to this website called anaconda.com. Yeah, the world's, yeah, and then you can click download. This can work for, so this can work for like, oopsie. So this can be for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. So all you have to do is just click download, distribution. And it has all these type of packages: Jupyter, Spider, NumPy, SciPy, Number, Pandas, Matplotlib. We're gonna need many of these packages. So anyway, so click download. It might take a really, really, really long time to install. You can choose one of these, but Python 3.7 is way better. Most of this tutorial is gonna be about. This tutorial is all about Python 3. So I click download, and you get this. So basically, I already have Anaconda, or else why am I even making this video? Plus, it'll take a long time for you to download, and you'll discover. So anyway, within Anaconda, you can go to Anaconda prompt, or you can go to Anaconda Navigator. Yeah. If you choose Anaconda prompt, then you have to type in Jupyter Note. So whatever it is, you have to type in commands that'll understand and bring you to the page that we can write code. Or you can go to this Anaconda Navigator, and you can just type in launch for each apps. Yeah. But the Anaconda Navigator is way slower. That's why. Okay, quit. Yes. Don't show me again. Anyway, so now you can just put. So I would rather prefer you for Anaconda prompt. You see, Anaconda Navigator is way slow. So so to start, let's type in something. So first of all, you need to understand something called the Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is an important web-based computing web-based computing code area. So whenever you type in code, the outputs will come right below. So to go to the Jupyter Notebook, all you have to type is Jupyter Notebook, and that's it. You can just click enter, and the rest of the program will run by itself. See? Yeah. And now, let's start. So now let's start to open a new notebook, all you have to do is just press Python 3. So let's start by doing variables. You see, variables are the first lesson. Variables. Okay, variables. Yep, that's it. So variables are like storage spaces where you can put in some information or data. And you see, you can just like delete it, or you could just replace it with a different value. You see, so the structure of a variable is the name of a variable, and this is the value of what it is assigned to. So maybe this will be a little bit too complex for you and you might not understand. So let's just go to the Jupyter Notebook. So here we are, the Jupyter Notebook. So let's start out by giving out a variable. So let's make it be A. Okay, so A is the variable name then. A equal to, maybe let's try bike, okay? Bike. A equals to bike. And first, E equals to bike, and a shortcut for like running this is to press shift and enter at the same time. Because if you don't press shift, then it'll just press enter like that. But instead you want it to run fully, right? Anyway, so let's go on to the topic. So, A. And if you want to know the information about any word, sometimes it might not work. Then you could just press shift and tab. It'll tell about the information and everything. But you don't really need to know this throughout the unit. A. So to print out a variable, you can just press A. Shift enter. And this is an important thing. What do you want to do if you want... So you want to make a better variable, right? But you want it to be the same name. Then what you can do is, you don't have to like create a new one, because that's only in other programming languages. That means you can't like reassign. But in Python, that's totally fine. So let's rename it, and maybe this time let's put a name of a person. Maybe Sam. Of course, that's just a part of my own name. A. So now this is bike. Now it'll get reassigned to Sam. And there's no error or anything. So now you must understand something very, very important. You must be thinking, why am I putting these, those double quotes and stuff? You can even put single quotes plus. Oh, and you must be thinking, if I put double quotes, why is it coming single quotes? Oh, the thing is that single quotes is the result. And also, so this is a part of data types, which is the next lesson. So you can't really do your own code by doing into this lesson itself and do only about this lesson. Because this is going to be a part of the next lesson, which is a different video, okay? So anyway, so whatever it is, text includes these double quotes or single quotes, and around them to let the Jupyter Notebook or the Python to know that it's a piece of text. Okay. So now, what if we don't want to change a variable? this time maybe we don't want text, but rather we want some numbers and numbers. Okay, that's also easy. It's just the same, except you don't need double quotes or single quotes. This time, let's put this variable name to be b. b equals to 2. Oopsie, 2. Okay, shift enter. Now, what if you want to reassign with the same variable, adding it together? So what I mean is that, what if you want to put another of the same variable, but add the variable from the previous thingy to create an additive of the same type? So what I meant, so it'll all get clear what I mean when I type it in. So if I already given out this value, shift enter, and now I want to reassign it, right? b equals, then all I have to do is just put b equal to b plus b. You must be thinking, if this is a variable name, then why are we putting the variable name again? Just to reassign and we want to add. Well, again, you're wrong. In other programming languages that's too, but in Python that's different. Yeah, you can, so if it is the value part, then it reassigns from the other variable names. Because what if it thinks like this is a different b? It's kind of like that. That's how Python thinks like. b equal to b plus b. Shift enter. Now let's print out b. It'll come out as 4. 4, see? We can just keep on doing that. Wait, this time let's do times b. b equal to b times b. And to do times, you have to just put this star thingy by pressing shift and 8. Shift 8 together creates a enter. b equal to b times b. Okay, there's just a lot run. Now let's print out b. Shift enter. Ooh, 256! Whoa, that's a lot. You can just use multiplication, and if you would use addition for that, it'll take forever. Anyway, so that is for variables, except there is a lot more you have to know. One more thing, you can also put decimal values. Let's put a decimal value. v equal to 6.2. And you can even add them. v plus v. You see, you don't need a syntax to get an output of something you exactly want. Except that there's only one thing. If you want to print something without these commas, that's the only time when. For strings anyway, so I'll tell that in the next lesson. v plus v. 12.4. Ooh, 12.4. Yeah, that's a good one. Why 6.2 plus 6.2 is anyway 12.4. After all, this is 12. This becomes 12. This becomes 4. Wait, what if it was 6.6? Shift enter. 13.2. Yeah. Yeah, so, and one more thing. You have to learn about true or false. You see, it's basically a part of the computer science. Why wouldn't it be in here? Okay? G, let's put a true or false values. It can be either true or it can be either false. You see, if you want to get a shortcut like search results like this, you have to press tab and it'll get this bunch of options. As you can see, we have to put a capital or else it doesn't even get anything. And it'll come out as an error. See, it'll come out false is not defined because you have to put a capital. Don't only. Enter. Now let's print out G. Shift enter. False. You can also do that same thing to true. T tab. Never mind. Okay, rather than that. Okay, true. So true is that, okay? D, shift enter, true. Okay, so rather than the next lesson isn't gonna be in the next lesson, but in this video only. You don't have to go to the next video. Okay, whatever. So, anyway, let's stop being more serious, okay? So anyway, if you wanna you wanna know about what is all these variable names about? Why can we put what is this? Why do we have to put commas here? Why do you have to put those double commas here? And why does this not need commas? And how can we put decimals? All those things and true or false and things. All those things will be answered with this lesson. So, what it's gonna be about is that, you see, this is a very important lesson. It's called, so the next part is data types. Data types are the type of information we store within the variables. And it doesn't have to be just in variables. It can be in the output. What is it? Output. Oh yeah, output commands or something. Anyway, so let's go to the Jupyter Notebook to understand what I'm meaning. Okay? So let's go to this new Python 3 Jupyter Notebook, and let's rename it to be data types. Data types. Enter data types. And one more thing, you can just put this markdown or stuff, or rather than markdown. So this markdown thingy, it'll help you to put code put a remember thingy or something. You can put or you can put it in code and put a hash, and this thingy won't change how your code runs. So I would rather prefer you for markdown. You see, you don't have to put the hash or else it'll become slanted too much like that, okay? Anyway, so data types. Let's type in a note. Note. Data types. Okay, so now let's get back. So, no, data types are the different storage spaces that are used. Rather than storage spaces, I would rather just say the different type of values that are used. Now we must be thinking, why am I telling different values? Isn't it supposed to be about the different type of thing? Now that's exactly what I mean. The different values I mean is just that the different types of values. Different types of values that are used. Anyway, shift enter. So let's start writing our code. Okay? Note. So let's start out by doing strings. You see, strings are one of the most popular types of data types in Python. You see, and strings include double quotes, single quotes. Double quotes or single quotes. Those are the main and within those double quotes and single quotes, you have to write the text you want to write. Okay? So let's start. This text, so let's start by naming a variable called text. Text equal to maybe, you see, I mostly use double quotes because I'm used to it. Because I did Swift long ago, and it only uses double quotes. Anyway, text equal to, let's name it, maybe, I have a Mac maybe I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Or maybe just iPhone 11 Pro Max. iPhone 11 Pro Max. Okay, you must be thinking, why is there a number within a string type? You see, the string type, the number will become a string type, but the number is going to be a string. But if you see, I'll give you an example of something. Let's put maybe n equals to 1. Shift enter. And n. So we must be thinking that this is just perfectly fine. It's 1, except that it has a thingy, but it'll be the same if you use the print command anyway. So, but if you do n plus n, it's gonna become 11. It adds the two types of things. Get it? It adds the two types of things like windows. This is just a type of funny math thingy. Okay, funny math. It's not real. Anyway, so now let's do text. Let's put in text. Shift enter. There it is. iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now you really don't want this thingy to be in the output when we already put it in the input, right? These double quotes and single quotes. Then there's this special command called the print command. Print. And then you put those two braces, because you know. And you see, when you type in one of the braces, it automatically does it for you. So print, so you see, these things represent a function. If you don't put these, then it's only just going to tell how the function is going to be defined. That's all that it's going to be about. So if you want it, then if you wanted to print the number thingy, then you have to put these. And whatever you want to be, the result comes in here. So let's put the variable text, because if you didn't know what text is, then we would have to, like, you know, put these double quotes even in the print. Anyway, so let's start. Text, shift enter, iPhone 11 Pro Max. See, now you don't have this thingy. And it's way more readable, because people will be thinking, why is the single quotes always there? You see, it doesn't print out double quotes, only we can put double quotes. Anyway, so the next type of data types are integers. Integers are types of, you see, integers are like numbers. And like, you see, it's not actually integers, it's just int. Int is, you see, ints are like type of numbers, and int stands for integers. Yes, str stands for strings and like that. So int stands for numbers, right? It's for numbers. Like, we can put a variable name called v equals to 6, right? V equals to 6. So, and this value, this value is an int. Okay, so let's start. Ooh, and one more thing in the note. I gotta put a markdown. Well, don't put keywords for a variable name, and keywords look green. Yep. Oopsie. Don't put keywords for variable name and keywords look green. So that will remind you that you should not put that word for a variable. So anyway, now let's assign a variable now. V equal to 6, okay? Shift enter. Now let's put in V. Shift enter. And you don't really need to assign a variable for this. Even for strings, you don't need to assign a variable. First of all, you don't really need to assign a variable for any data types or variables. I mean, not variables, because that's just the same thing there. So you don't really need to use variables to like get an output of what you want all the time. Because even though you can even put this. I am a string. Shift enter. See, I am a string. It does it without even the variables. And you can do the same to this. 6. It just prints out 6. And you don't need double quotes or single quotes for this. So that's why it's just like getting this output of the same input. That's the easiest part of Python. Okay, so we want to print out with this variable rather, right? And let's print out v. It comes out as 6. Okay, so that is about int. And now let's go to floating. Float. Float is for like, you know, float is for decimal values. Yeah, and it stands for floating points. Yeah, and you can put like 6.2, 7.3, those basic math things. Okay, so let's put a variable equals to 6.2 or something, or you can just directly write 6.2, and that code will be easier to get an output of 6.2. Okay, so let's go to the Jupyter Notebook. Yeah. Oopsie. Okay, so we're in the Jupyter Notebook, right? Anyway, so okay, this fix and v stuff. So let's start by giving out a variable, or let's just do a normal thing for now. 6.2 also doesn't require any special thing. Even the input is the same as the output. Input, output. And you see, there's a special thing that doesn't let it be input. There's this input functions, and you'll be learning about it later in the course. See? It doesn't, why is the star here? It doesn't put input star. The star means that it doesn't, but instead we have to make the input, PG. So the output is PG. The input is actually PG. So anyway, you'll be learning about it later in the course, because I know it's just a little bit surprising. I really love to use those thingies. Okay, so 6.2. And even in the print command, you can also do 6.2. In the print, you can type in anything. Not anything like, oh, I want a pizza without double quotes or stuff. I just mean with syntax, of course. You see, syntax is a way of writing code without any errors. Okay, so we have this, right? Now let's put, for an instance, maybe. So now we're going to be learning about booleans. I mean bool. So bool stands for booleans. I mean, all these stands for thingies, just how I believe it. Look, they're so similar. Anyway, so bool is like, it's like true or false. They're even used in the computer programs. That's why even in the program, true or false means 1 or 0. Even in the computer programming, true stands for 1, false stands for 0. So if you like add true or false, you don't get an unknown answer. Instead, you just get 1. Because then if you add something with a bool, then it automatically becomes an int. Get it? It automatically becomes an int if you add a number or a floating point to it. And if you add a string, I'm not really sure. So let's just go to the Jupyter Notebook and I'm gonna see what happens. I am plus true. And remember, you have to put a capital. Hit enter. I can only concentrate str, not bool to str. See, so strings can't be added to true. But if you add any type of math thingy to a boolean, then it only becomes an int. Even the bool part becomes an int. So anyway, let's start. V equals to true. And since it's a data type, you don't really have to put the double quotes or single quotes, even though it's a piece of text. V, shift enter, true. Get it? And you can just type directly, true. true. And what about false even? Upset. Oopsie. Why am I getting so many mistakes? False. False. Shift enter. False. And now there is another type of data type that is very important. I mean, it's used in maths a lot, and it's a data type called complex. So in maths, complex is like complex. So complex is like a number plus a number with a letter on it, okay? So let's start putting 8 plus 8j. Shift enter. Okay, 8 plus 8j. But it actually put these braces because it can't match a number with an integer, right? 8 plus, so let's just put maybe 8j plus 8j. You just get 16j. Why? Since there's 2 j's, it ignores that because there's 2 j's, because those 2 j's can just get added to create 2 j's. So now this 8 plus 8 becomes 16. And since this j plus j equals to j, 1j, so it becomes 16j. 8 plus 8, 16. J plus j, j. Like that. It's like that. Yeah, so that's it about data types. And so, bye-bye. See you next time.